Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Monica Math Classes. So today we are going to solve the second exercise of Introduction to Trigonometry. So let's get started. It's a very small and easy exercise. You will see it that it's so easy, but it will become easy, as I say, only when you know the trigonometric table of it. So the first thing that you should learn it. I know that in the beginning it's difficult to learn the trigonometric table of this particular trigonometry, but in the beginning, you will just keep in front of you and slowly and gradually you will remember it. But I hope you remember the tip and trick which I gave you in my last video. Make sure you make it one when you start solving these types of questions. So this is what it is, and we will go back again and again and check that how we are going to solve it. So let's get started. So this is the first question of your second exercise in NCERT. So I think we will start with the first question and first part of this. So we will start solving with this one. Okay, so let's see the solution part of this. So you must have seen that all these expression contains angles. So that's why we need all the values of this. So let me write first the question: sine 60 degree cos 30 degree, and make sure you know that between sine 60 degree and cos 30 degree, they both are in multiplication. So in algebra, we just write down a little dot plus sine 30 degree dot cos 60 degree. Okay, so in case you don't know what is sine 60 degree, you can go back and check that in sine theta, what is sine 60 degree? It is root 3 upon 2. So you can go back to the question and write down sine 60 is root 3 upon 2 into. Now what is cos 30 degree? Now you go to cos and cos 30 degree. It is also root 3 upon 2. So now you write in place of cos 30 as root 3 upon 2 plus. Then sine 30. So sine 30 is 1 upon 2. So it is 1 upon 2 multiplied by what is cos 60? Cos 60 is also 1 by 2. So it is 1 upon 2. Now root 3 into root 3, when you multiply, it becomes 3. I hope you remember. Square root into square root. These two root becomes, they cancel each other. So you are left with only this, 3. And upon 4 plus 1 into 1 is 1 and 1 upon 4. Now when you see, it is with the like denominator. So when you add these two fractions, 4 will be the LCM, and then you have this 4 by 4, which is equal to 1. So answer is this. Easy? Yes, it is easy. So keep the trigonometric table handy. Now let's start with the second part. So I'll solve the second part also. So let me write 2 tan square 45 degree plus cos square 30 degree minus sine square 60 degree. Now 2. What is tan 45? Go back and check. In tan 45 degrees 1. So I'm going to write in place of 45 as 1. But it is tan square. So it should be this square of 1 plus cos square 30 degree. So what is cos 30 degree? Root 3 by 2. That means it's whole square. So root 3 upon 2 whole square minus. Now let's check sine 60 degree. Sine 60 is root 3 by 2 again. So it is root 3 upon 2 whole square. Okay, so 1 multiplied by 1. 1 square means 1 multiplied by 1. So it becomes 1. So 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. And root 3 whole square, it becomes 3 upon 4 minus 3 upon 4. Now you can see both values are same. You can cancel them. And the answer is 2. I hope you have understood so far. So we are just placing the values of it. Now we have other 3 parts of this question. Third, fourth. I think I should start with the fifth one, which is a little difficult, looks difficult. So I'll start with the fifth part of it. And I'm leaving these 2 parts, third and fourth, on you. Okay, and tell me that if you have understood or not. So let's start with this fifth part. So what is fifth part? I have to write 5 cos square 60. So it is 5 cos square 60 plus 4 sec square 30 minus 10 square 45 degree. I'm writing degrees now. Divided by sine square 30 degree and plus cos square 30 degree. Now, to solve this, again, I have to refer to the trigonometric table, but now in case, if I remember, I can write down directly. So cos 60 is 1 by 2. If you remember, you were putting the values cos 60, 1 by 2 whole square plus 4 times. Now sec square 30, it is 2 upon root 3 whole square, and tan 45 is 1, which is 1 whole square, divided by sine square 31 by 2. So it is 1 by 2 whole square, plus cos 30, it is root 3 upon 2. So I will be writing root 3 upon 2 whole square. So now after this, 1 by 2 whole square, it becomes 1 by 4. So it becomes 5 upon 4 plus. Now 2 whole square, it becomes this side 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 upon 3 minus 1 upon 1 upon 4 plus 3 upon 4. Now, when you know that, when you solve this separately, this denominator, it will turn into 1. So I only have to solve this part, 5 upon 4 plus 16 upon 3 minus 1. How to solve this? You have to take LCM for 4 and 3. So LCM for 4 and 3 is 12. Okay, so this become 15. So 12 divided by 3, 4. 4 times 16, 64 minus 12. So the answer is 67 upon 12. That's the answer. I hope you understood how we are using this. So it's all about just the calculation then later. Now let's see question number 2. So in your book, choose the correct option and justify your choice. So you have to solve it and then only you can mark the correct answer for it. So there are certain answers given which are very, very easy. So let's get started with the second part of this. So I'll solve the second part. So do you remember tan 45 degree is always 1? Okay, so now here in this 1 minus 1 whole square upon 1 plus 1 whole square. So that becomes 1 minus 1 and this becomes 1 plus 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0 and it is equal to 0. So that's my answer. So there are certain options given. You only have to mark this tick as this as the correct answer as 0. Okay, so let's move ahead and see. There's a last question in it, a very interesting one, important one, I would say. Now, tan A plus B, there's a condition given. If tan A plus B, what is given, you should write always as root 3. Do you know what, in the table of trigonometric table, when tan becomes root 3, so you go back again and refer. So this is your tan, and in this, when it becomes root 3, when it is 60 degree. So I will go back and write down here that as per trigonometric table, A plus B, I can write as tan 60 degree. I can write, right? I can replace this with this. Now, from both sides, I know this is tan and tan. So that means A plus B is equal to 60 degree. And I can write this as my first equation. Okay. I hope you have understood how we have done. So there was a condition which is given in the question. So we refer to the trigonometric table where it comes as root 3 when it is tan. So it is tan 60 degree. Now the second part, tan A minus B is equal to 1 upon root 3. Now, when it is 1 upon root 3, you want to go back and check again 1 upon root 3. This is the one, 1 upon root 3. Okay, that is 30 degree. So here, tan A minus B is equal to tan 30 degree. And you can understand now that on both the sides you have tan, you can cancel. So you are left with A minus B. 1 second. Let me take eraser. Okay, got confusion. A minus B is equal to 30 degree. You can name it as equation 2. Now, how to solve these two equations? Easy. take both the equations simultaneously. I think there's a plus b and minus b. So why don't we add both? Add equation 1 and 2. So when we add both the equation, what happens? A plus b is equal to 60 degree, write them together. A minus b is equal to 30 degrees. So when I add, this plus b and minus b will cancel. So you are left with 2a is equal to 90 degree. And a is equal to 90 degree divided by 2, which becomes 45 degree. Now, how to get b? So I'm going to put the value for a in equation number 1 or 2. It is your choice, wherever you want to put it. You will get the same answer. Substitute or put the value of a in equation number 1. So what answer you got? A plus b, write that equation first. And a is 45 degree. So b is equal to 60 minus 45, which is 15 degree. So in your answer, find a and b. Did you see what's mentioned? You have to calculate a and b. So in your answer, the value for a is 45 degree and b is equal to 15 degree. That's your answer. I hope all of you have understood how we have reached to this part. In case of doubt, you can go back again and see how the questions are solved. So I would advise each one of you, as I always say, practice and practice, which makes the man perfect and permanent in their learning. By then, rise and shine, Monica.